I've left up the process from the last series of questions because we're going to be using the same process for these next few questions. But I'm going to do a little bit more mental arithmetic. So we're going to take the 100 plus the percentage in our heads, come up with what the factor we're going to be using. So just a little bit of additional practice. You could take your time with these if you'd like, but I want you to also get into the rhythm of how we can jump in, kind of go 4% increase, that's 1.04, 4% decrease, that's 0.96. So notice a decrease is always less than 1, an increase is always more than 1. So that's what we're going to build on as we do these questions. So 34. Restaurant bill comes to $32.20. You just need to leave an 18% tip. What is the total amount you paid? So we started with a bill that was given to us, $32.20. We're going to pay that. That's 100%. But we're going to leave a tip as well, 18%. We must have gotten some pretty good service, I hope. And so it's 18% over the 100%. 100 plus 18 is 1.18. That leads us to directly get this calculation. We're going to do 37.996 if you do that in the calculator. So we've got to round up. So those 9s will become 0. Actually, it ends up being $38 even that we will end up leaving by doing the rounding. Wanted to round it to the nearest cent. Okay, $38. So let's take a look at 35 or at it. In this question, Sam lost 11% of his body weight. It's good. I'm trying to do that myself. We'll see. And his original weight was 218 pounds. So he lost 11%. So in our heads, we're doing 100 minus 11. Hopefully we're able to come up with 89%, which is 0.89. When we multiply these two together, we get the new weight that he's at, 194.02. That's about what I'm looking at. Sorry, but yeah, I think I'm at about 218. 194 would be nice. Is it too much information? Well, we've got nothing to hide, right? 36, let's do this again. Sales clerk received an increase in her annual salary. So she went from 100 to a greater percentage, which is now $27,300. If she received a 5% raise, what was her starting salary? Now to think about this takes a little bit of algebra. She had some salary. And we know she got a 5% raise. 100 plus 5 is 105. 1.05. So if we took the starting value, multiplied by 1.5, what we know is that she ended up with $27,300. But we want to know the starting value. So instead of multiplying, the inverse of multiplying is dividing. So we simply are going to take, again, if you want to do it algebraically, we divide both sides by 1.05. So here it cancels. We're just thinking as an inverse. We take the end result divided by 1.05. And we find out that her starting salary, which she had at the beginning, was $26,000. So $27,300 divided by 1.05 gives us what she started with. So notice the power we get when we do our calculations in this way. We can go from a known value to a new value, or we can go from the new value and be like detectives and get back to what the beginning value was. 37. Joyce, she paid $84.50 for an item at a store that was 35% off the original value. What was the original price? So again, original, I like to use start. At the beginning, this is our value. What would we have done? Well, 35% discount, that's 100 minus 35, that's 65%. So that's 0.65. 6, 5. And that was going to equal the new price. Well, that's what we know. She got the new price is $84.50. Okay, so instead of multiplying, what we're going to do is we're just going to come over here and then divide by the 0.65. Because we can't multiply because we don't know what the starting value is, but we will in a moment. The starting value, the original price, 84.5 divided by 0.65 was originally $130. Not bad. Okay, that's the original price. 38, you purchase a new car for a total of $19,241.94. This includes a 13% sales tax. So 100% plus 13 is 113%. What was the price of the car without the tax? Okay, so this is the starting value of the car, the sticker price. We paid 113%, right? Because that's the price of the car plus the sales tax. And when we did that, we got a total price, $19,241.94. To figure this one out, instead of multiplying, we simply do the inverse, the undoing thing. So we divide by this factor, 1.13. When we do this division, what we find is that the starting value, or the original price of the car without the sales tax, ends up being $17,028.27. Okay. So that's a use of a percent increase, percent decrease, and finding the new value or being able to find the